Hello and welcome back to another video, and a big special hello if you are new. Today I thought I would share with you some of the prettiest classics that I own. When I was making my list of books, I thought originally that I was just going to do like my top 10 prettiest books, but I actually had enough to break this up into 2 or 3 videos, which I'm really excited about. I think classics are so fun to collect because there really is something out there for everyone. There are so many different editions of these books that you can find one that matches like your own personal aesthetic, and you can also find one that like matches you as a reader. So whether that's like a hardcover or a paperback or the size of the book, I don't know, there's just so many different editions to find, and it's really fun looking and admiring them all. So here are a few from my collection. First, I have some books from the Puffin and Bloom collection. This was done with Penguin and Rifle Paper Company. So these were released in 2 waves. The first wave was 4 classic children's literature, and then the last 3 came out in earlier this year, I think, and they are Jane Austen editions. So I have them all, but I made myself narrow it down to 3, even though it was really hard to do. The first one I have is this edition of Emma. Oops, we almost lost it all there. Is this edition of Emma. Let me set these here. I love the pink color. I love the gold detailing. I love the flowers. I love the bow. It's just so pretty. There are also strawberries here on the front cover, which I think is wonderful attention to detail. If you've not read Emma, there is a part where the characters go strawberry picking at Mr. Knightley's house, and it's kind of a really pivotal point in the plot of the novel, so I loved that. The spine is really pretty. The back has a quote. I just think it's so pretty. The end pages are stunning as well. They've got the floral detail with the strawberries, and then there are also just little details as you open it up to like the title page and things like that that are just so pretty. I really love this edition, and I would say that this edition of Emma is probably the prettiest book that I own. Next is this edition of Anne of Green Gables, which is also from the Puffin and Bloom collection. It's this really pretty blue color with the pink floral detailing on the front. It has Anne as she's going to Avalonia for the first time. She's got her suitcase. I love it. I think Anne would also really appreciate this cover of herself. The spine, again, is really pretty with the pink detailing, and then there's the quote on the back. The end pages of these editions, oh, there's a post-it note in here. This must have been the bookmark that I used when I read this last. Are really nice because they have little sketches of the characters. So you have Anne and Diana and Gilbert, and then there's like some little bits of symbolism from the books as well here. I just love this so much, and then it has those same pretty little like floral details on the title page as well. Next is Little Women. Again, I think that it is so stunning. Little Women to me is always going to be a Christmas and wintertime novel, so the colors really match it, and I kind of feel like it looks like holly in different ways. Here on the cover, each of the sisters have their portrait, and one thing that I really love about it is you can kind of tell who's who. Even though there isn't like a dead giveaway, I just think there's so much attention to detail that has gone into these books, and I really love that. The spine is really pretty. The back has a quote on it just like the others do. I feel like I'm cranking my neck over here. When you open it up, the end pages are so pretty. Again, it just has little bits of symbolism here, like the scissors when Jo cuts her hair. I just love it so much. I will also say Little Women is a beast of a book, and these are really nice and sturdy. Oh, there are dried flowers in here. It's so fun. This is like a little treasure hunt. But it's nice and like floppy, so it doesn't like, it can kind of stay open on its own. It doesn't like break your wrist as you read it. We'll also say out of a lot of the editions of Little Women that are more marketed with like children, so since this is Puffin, it's more children's based than like Penguin would be itself. A lot of the Little Women editions don't include good wives, and this one does, which is something that I really like about it as well. Next, I have a Penguin Clothbound classic. Again, I can show you all of the ones in my collection, but I made myself pick my favorite, and I picked Middlemarch. I've actually not read Middlemarch yet, but oh, she's so pretty, isn't she? I love the pink with the little cameos on the front. I think that it is so just stunning. I love the spine too. I think the spine is really pretty with the way that it kind of like cut off the image. And then here's the back. One thing I really like about the Penguin Classics is when you open them up, it really has the look of an old classic novel. Like there aren't any modern touches to it. And I think that kind of helps you get in the right headspace for the book. So I really appreciate that. Hello. Hi, baby. Oh, so sweet. She needs a good brushing, so don't judge her appearance. But I've totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, these are stunning. I have seen some criticisms on them because if you can kind of tell the like print on it will start to scruff off. I've bought a couple of these used at like thrift stores and they're pretty well worn. But I personally really like that detail. I like that it looks kind of worn and loved and classic and like vintagey. That's something that I really like about them. Obviously, if it's a book like Jane Austen or something like that I'm going to read over and over and over in my lifetime, you would need a sturdier edition. But for something to read once or twice and then just display, I think that these are perfect. Next, I have this edition of Winnie the Pooh. It is the Complete Tales of Winnie the Pooh. So there are 4 books within Winnie the Pooh. So there was Winnie the Pooh and then A House at Pooh Corner, which are the stories. And then there were 2 editions of poetry. So this has Winnie the Pooh and The House at Pooh Corner combined into one. It's this gorgeous yellow leather with this like navy and rose gold detail. This is actually like plastic here, which I really like. The spine is beautiful and the back is just stunning. I think the back might be prettier than the front. It has gold sprayed edges, which are so pretty. All of the art in it is colorized, and the original wasn't, but I really like the bright like watercolor look to these. I think that it is so pretty. It's a really glossy page and they're really sturdy. So if you do, since it is a children's classic, it is one that I, collected for myself as an adult, but it's one that I would totally feel comfortable letting my future children or my nephews like have and look through because it is so sturdy. The end page is really beautiful with the map as well. I just absolutely love it. They also have an edition of Peter Rabbit like this that I really want to get my hands on too. Moving on, I have this edition of Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This is a vintage classic. I love this one. I love the minimalism of the cover. When you open it up, it's all just kind of flows into one another. I love Miss Havisham here. She looks quite eerie. I really like that. When you open it up, there's also a really nice portrait of Dickens on the inside. I have a couple of these, but Great Expectations is definitely my favorite of them all. I would like to collect them all, honestly, because I don't know what it is. I really love them. I think Vintage Classics has a lot of really beautiful covers as well. If you're on the market for something that maybe you don't see a lot of other people have. But again, it's nice, and it's a really nice like floppy paperback too, which is always really good. I love a good floppy paperback. Next, I have this edition of Jane Eyre. It's quite cheery for Jane Eyre. I don't think the cover is very representative of the book, but I do really love the yellow with the little detailing and the rabbit and the fox. I think that it is so cute. These are quite old. I don't remember when these were published. I think it was 2012. I bought this at Anthropologie. It was called, they did a few of these. It was like Mr. Boddington's. Yeah. They did this one, and I think Wuthering Heights and Alice in Wonderland. This is the only one that I own, but again, I just really love it. It's a nice sturdy paperback. I don't like that it's white because you can see this is older and it's quite dirty over the years. But one little fun thing about mine is Jane Eyre was written by Charlotte Brontë. It says so here, but on the actual physical book, it says that it was written by Emily. So it's a misprint. And I don't know why, but I don't know. I just like that. It's just special to me, I guess. Next, I have this edition of Peter Pan. This is a Puffin and chalk book. I love this one, the way that it looks like it's been written by chalk. I think that it's really, really pretty. I love the quote on the back as well. When you open it up, it really just has like this chalkboard look to it, which is nice. I don't know. I really like this one a lot. These were also produced by Penguin. This one is 2013, so it's a little bit older as well. And then they did a couple other ones of these two. It looks like it was Pippi Longstocking and the Wizard of Oz, but this is the only one that I have. But again, I really like it, and it's a really nice size too. I think is a book that I'm really sad I don't see as many people talk about these editions. So they are these editions from Penguin of F. Scott Fitzgerald's books. I collected them all back in the day. I think these were published in like 2012 too. I don't know. Oh, this edition was published in 2010. Jeez Louise. Didn't realize these were so old. But anyway, they're all super beautiful, but this one's my favorite. I love the rose gold detailing. The others are like black, so instead of the white background, it's black with like silver or gold detailing, or they're white with silver and gold. This is the only rose gold one, but I really love it a lot. Again, I don't love that it's white on the inside because it could get really dirty. I do have a different copy of The Great Gatsby that I have used to read. It was one I had to have in high school for like an AP lit class or literature class or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but again, it just has that kind of like classic look to it. When you open it up, there aren't any modern touches, just like with the Clothbounds. And then in the back here, you can rip off this and use it as a bookmark, and all of them have a different little quote from the novels in them. I will probably never rip those off and use them, just because if I lost them or bent them, I would beat myself up about it. But so pretty, and I'm so sad that like I never see these anymore because they're just so beautiful. Glennie. She was like curled up around this one. And then my very last classic that I'm going to show you today is this edition of East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This was also published by Penguin, but I'm pretty sure it was Penguin UK, not American. I got this from, yeah, it was the Penguin UK. I got this from the book depository back in the day, and I don't feel like this is like necessarily like a stunning book that many people are gonna look at and be like, wow, that's such a pretty edition. But it's kind of special to me because when I was in middle school, I got hyper fixated on James Dean, and I feel like that's kind of a normal middle school girl thing. I don't know, I have always been a little odd, but James Dean was in an adaptation of East of Eden, which I watched in middle school. I've not seen it in years, but the cover reminds me of him, which was why I was like, I have to have that one. I've actually not read this one yet, but I want to. But it's like paying homage to like the inner middle school Casey. There are other editions of these, and I really like them. I kind of like the bold print or color in the background with like this vintagey picture on it. I don't know. I just really do like it. And then there's like the little flag, since it is an American classic. I don't know. I really like it though. Thank you guys so much for being here and listening to me babble on about books as always. Again, these are some of the prettiest classics that I own for different reasons that are, you know, sentimental to me or just because they're so stinking pretty. I adore them so much, and I'm happy you guys let me share them with you. I will probably do another one of these videos sometime in the future of more like contemporary, that was Clemmy, of more contemporary books that I own that I feel like are just really stunning. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But I'm going to get off here before she plays and knocks over this tripod. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. you.